We're tracking the story of a resident in Isipingo who complained that the local mosque's call to prayer was in fact disrupted, and the High Court in Durban agreeing with that resident. The ruling saying that the Azaan must not penetrate the walls of the complainant's house. There is now, as we understand it, an appeal that is happening on that story based on the fact that it is an infringement on religious rights, in effect, to limit the Azaan. But our reporter Karinda Jagmohan is in Durban for us, and she is tracking that story for us. In fact, let's take you live now to Durban, where we understand that an application for leave to appeal has been filed with the High Court around this issue of the Azaan, and Karinda joins us now live. Karinda, before we get into the appeal itself, take us back to how the story first unfolded.
Yes, good morning to you. It was last month when an Isipingo Beach resident filed a complaint at the Durban High Court. He said that the call to prayer, the Islamic call to prayer, had disrupted him in his house. So now this has effectively, of course, affected mosques in this area, and I'm joined now by the Islamic Beach Muslim Association member, Mr. Hussein Mullah. Mr. Mullah, thank you for speaking to Newzroom Afrika. Just to explain to us how this judgment, a landmark ruling, has affected the Islamic religion and the important call to prayer.
Good morning, and good morning to our viewers. Yes, the decision has been a very strange decision made by the judge, and it has definitely affected us as a community, but not just our community, but it's going to be affecting all South Africans as a whole. It means that the call of prayer cannot be given, that is amplified, and people will no longer be hearing the call to prayer. And this has been predominantly historic for us all South Africans since we have come into the country, since our forefathers have landed into this country. So the call as prayer has always been there, and it was a quite strange decision that just one man's opinion has led the judge to make a decision in favor of him, which we deem to be as a one-sided decision. So to us, it's a sad day for democracy in this country, and in terms of the constitution of the country, we have a freedom to religion, and I feel that this decision should actually go on appeal, and hopefully that there will be some good judgment and common sense that will prevail, because it's a precedent judgment that's going to be affecting all South African, all religious groups in the future. And historically, this community has always been living very harmoniously. There have been no issues. The matter was previously did go to the Human Rights Council, and over there also it was mediated, and it was felt that the call of prayer was not problematic. But I must just say that it's not just the call to prayer that is offending the individual that has made this application. It's more to that, and I think he finds the religion of Islam a strange religion. He finds that it should not exist and it should not be there. He finds the words of the call to prayer offensive, and as you know, that he deemed Islam as a sexist and racist religion. So it's just more to the call of Azaan that is being made here. Also, I mean, there are a number of issues in his court papers application that has been made offensive remarks against Islam, and it is not my duty to actually expose this, because these things then become very emotive in the community, and it could create more problems and repercussions in the future. But just to say that he makes major comparisons in his application about Islam and the religion of Islam, and also to say that in his opinion, the name of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, should not be mentioned also in the call of prayer.
Indeed, Mr. Mullah, of course, will be speaking to him over the course of the day, as well as about the religious intolerance that this application has created. However, I must tell you that as we stand here in the community of Isipingo, we've seen many residents come together, actually speaking to Mr. Mullah, saying that we are on your side. So, of course, what we're seeing now is the community of Isipingo Beach banding together, and, of course, now going forward, the mosque that is involved in this judgment will be filing an appeal against this judgment because of the landmark ruling that it is that could affect all really religions across the country.
Absolutely. What does this mean for the Azaan around the country? Thanks very much for that. Karinda Jagmohan is our reporter on that developing story.